Hello, this is Michael Arney with Leonardo Academy. I'm the president of Leonardo Academy, and today I have with me Mary Reams, who's a sustainability project manager at Leonardo Academy, and we're going to be presenting the introduction to the draft National Sustainable Agriculture Standard, LEO 4000. We appreciate your being here today, and we'll have time for questions after the presentation. So here's an outline of this introduction. First, we'll talk a little bit about Leonardo Academy and the ANSI process. Then we'll talk about the need for a sustainable agriculture standard. Then we'll talk about LEO 4000. We'll talk about who will use the standard. We'll start how you can start using the standard now by joining the pilot, and then looking ahead. So, about Leonardo Academy. Leonardo Academy is a 501c3, or charitable nonprofit organization. We were founded in 1997. We're dedicated to using the competitive market to advance sustainability. We do this by empowering the marketplace. We develop new sustainability strategies and voluntary standards, and we help participants and clients win using these strategies and standards. We use the ANSI, American National Standards Institute, standard development process. The Leonardo Academy is an American National Standards Institute accredited standard developer. We're working on a variety of new standards. One is the standard for sustainable agriculture, another is a standard for life cycle assessment, and a third is a standard for sustainable master plans. We have several finished standards. One is a comprehensive air emissions reporting standard that addresses both greenhouse gases and emissions that affect health, and then also a sustainable gaming equipment standard. Here's a short summary of the ANSI process. First, the standard is announced. It's announced that a process is going to start for developing a standard. And then a standard development committee is formed. The Standard Development Committee develops a draft standard, votes on the draft standard, and addresses public comments. Then the standard is released for public use, and then it goes into a continuous maintenance process with ongoing updates to address issues as they're identified. So what are some of the key aspects of the ANSI process? Participation is voluntary. The use of the standards developed is voluntary. It involves multi-stakeholders. It's consensus-based. It's non-proprietary. Everyone can use the standard once it's completed. And it's an open, transparent process. For LEO 4000, the standard committee includes a variety of affected parties, producers, users, environmentalists, academics, and government folks, as well as other people. And then there are observers, and observers participate in the process, but they don't vote. Now we'll talk about the need for the standard, and Mary will present this section.
Thanks, Michael. So you can see here that sustainable agriculture has been of interest to people for a long time now, since the 1940s. We've got a short history of different attempts to reach sustainability in agriculture, all the way up to February or November of this year, when we released the draft standard of LEO 4000. There's been a growing amount of consumer interest in sustainably grown food. The International Food Information Council did a survey in 2012 and found that 69% of U.S. adults say that it is important that foods are produced in a sustainable way. Nielsen also did a survey in 2012 and found that 46% of consumers are willing to pay extra to socially responsible companies, and that would include agriculture. This chart, you can see that up on the upper right-hand corner of this chart is fresh meat, fresh seafood, fresh vegetables and produce, and dairy products, indicating that these are the types of things that people are willing to pay the most for if they're produced sustainably. 4 sustainability characteristics that consumers seem to value most are conserving the natural habitat, ensuring a sufficient global food supply, reducing the amount of pesticides used to produce food, and ensuring an affordable food supply. And that again is from the International Food Information Council's 2012 survey. And it's not just consumers who are catching on to this trend. Retailers and manufacturers are also understanding what consumers are saying to them. You can see from here that sustainability is ranked in the top 5 interests of consumers today, and interests that will grow in the most in the next 3 years. We conducted a multi-stakeholder needs assessment, had a task force working on that, and they determined that sustainable agriculture standard would engender common understanding of sustainability, protect and conserve natural resources, create safe, healthy work environments for agriculture workers, support farming communities, ensure inclusivity and accessibility, encourage innovation, set a national baseline for what sustainable agriculture is considered, provide a basis for international harmonization, stimulate producer incentives and market rewards, and prevent greenwashing. So what does the federal government have to say about this? Well, Leo 4000 is not a law. It is a voluntary standard. However, the federal government likes to follow voluntary standards. They give deference to voluntary consensus standards where appropriate to avoid the cost of taxpayers of developing and enforcing regulatory standards, incentivize establishment of standards to serve national interests, encourage long-term growth for U.S. enterprises, and promote efficiency and economic competition by harmonizing standards, and encourage reliance on the private sector to supply government needs for goods and services. Well, here we see that we've got a problem. We have a whole lot of standards out there right now for different aspects of sustainable agriculture. This list is just a small portion of them, and you can see if you were a producer, this could be pretty confusing if you had to follow all of these. And another problem is the lack of consistency. You can see from this chart, although it's kind of hard to read, but you can get the gist that none of these standards say the same thing. They all have different aspects. And then we have another aspect to this whole mess is the websites and apps that now exist to rate products. They're not standards per se, but they are rating according to their own rating systems. Other difficulties, we have difficulties with supply chains. If a large producer wants its supply chain to be sustainable, the suppliers don't know which standard to follow. We have inconsistency in conformity audits. We have inconsistency in audit practices. We have lack of incentives for continuous improvement. What's the answer? The answer is a national sustainable agriculture that defines what constitutes sustainable agriculture in the U.S., establishes a new sustainable food market, and promotes broad implementation of sustainable agriculture in all 3 aspects of sustainability: environmental, social, and economic aspects. That's what we hope Leo 4000 will do, and we hope that once it is up and running, it will follow the same trends as the USDA organic standard has done with its rapid growth in popularity and sales. Now here's Michael to tell you about Leo 4000.
Thank you, Mary. The Leo 4000 is the first comprehensive national sustainable agriculture standard to be developed in the United States. The strategy of Leo 4000 is to create a clear and comprehensive standard for sustainable agriculture that provides guidance to producers, metrics for levels of achievement, third-party verification of achievements, simplified sustainability reporting, and then clear communications up and down the supply chain from producers to consumers, and then branding up and down the supply chain from consumer to producers as well. The objective of Leo 4000 is to use the marketplace to transform agriculture towards sustainability. It will do this by empowering producers and buyers who will drive increased sustainability in agriculture by their actions. As standards like Leo 4000, one of the important functions they play is a communications tool. They make it easy for producers to ask for sustainability and for buyers to ask for sustainability. It makes it easy for producers to document the sustainability of their production and easy for buyers to request sustainability when they're purchasing things. The scope of Leo 4000 currently is plant products, it's plant crops. In the future, Leo 4000 will also address animal production. It's important to remember that plant crops include both food crops and crops that are used for other purposes like fiber. An important thing to note about the measurement strategy in Leo 4000 is it strives to use performance-based metrics wherever practical. This is rather than performance-based metrics, and rather than practice-based metrics. Importance of using performance-based metrics is that it creates a competitive opportunity for producers and other people in the marketplace to identify better and easier ways to achieve the performance goals that are identified in the standard. The Leo 4000 structure. There are 4 categories of achievement: general, environmental, economic, and social. General essentially provides some of the structure that's important for the standard, and then environmental, economic, and social touch on the 3 legs of sustainability. There are 4 levels of performance in the standard: bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. Each level has specified prerequisites and also a specified number of optional actions to implement. This differentiation between prerequisites and optional actions is very important because it makes the standard flexible. The optional actions are chosen by the producer, and this allows the producer to essentially tailor the standard to their production situation. Here's a summary of the requirements for each performance level. You can see that for each level, a different number of prerequisite items are required, and as you go up from bronze to platinum, the number of prerequisite items required goes from 137 to 469. So increase as you go up the scale in what prerequisites are required. Then optional items needed varies a little bit from level to level, but it's basically saying that beyond the prerequisite items, a significant number of optional items need to be addressed. General issues addressed. The producer sustainability plan addresses things like document retention, general description of operations, and goals and strategies. Legal compliance with applicable laws is required, and disclosure of information, transparency, is required. Then it recognizes that some aspects of production will be confidential. A wide range of environmental issues are addressed by the standard, including production systems, agrochemicals, soil resources, water resources, air resources, biotic resources, energy resources and energy use, and waste management. A wide range of social issues are addressed: work agreements, wages and benefits, working hours, children and voluntary labor, non-discrimination, freedom of association, violence and harassment, human resources management, health and safety, workplace conditions, worker housing, stakeholder and community engagement, local and regional community, sourcing, sales, services, and support. A number of economic issues are addressed as well. Scope of business planning and reporting, continuity, risk and resilience management, long-term land tenure, lease terms, product quality, and food safety. The producer sustainability plan is a central management tool, and it brings together a lot of things that are required by specific items in the standard, describes land, resources, and current practices, identifies key criteria and indicators to be monitored to improve performance, records goals for meeting criteria and improving performance, identifies strategies and practices for meeting goals, documents strategies implemented, results observed, outcomes achieved, identifies any unexpected outcomes or problems, and plans for mitigating or improving outcomes in the next cycle. The standard will have a thorough reference guide that's currently under development. The reference guide will address metrics, standards, guidance, research/analysis, laws and regulation, and documentation. There will be third-party certifiers. Their third-party certifiers are important to make sure that the public can trust the results of the sustainability claims made based on the standard. Third-party certifiers maintain independence, objectivity, competence, transparency, and effectiveness to increase public trust. Leonardo Academy will train certifiers on the application of the standard to ensure consistency. So Leo 4000 is going to work on identifying equivalence between Leo 4000 and other standards. This will work in two directions. For users of Leo 4000, what subset of the achievements identified in the standard are equivalent to other standards, and vice versa. For other standards, what are they doing that helps meet the requirements of Leo 4000 to make users of other standards have an easier time, a simpler time implementing Leo 4000. For example, the farm certified as USDA organic may already meet a number of Leo 4000 requirements. We're going to evaluate this, document it, and then make this part of the tools for earning a Leo 4000 certification, the equivalence from other standards like the USDA organic standard. Who will use the standard? I'll turn the presentation over to Mary here.
The short answer to that question is everyone can use the Leo 4000 standard. Primarily, the main people you would think of would be the producers. Those are the family farmers, even corporate farms. Next, we would talk about suppliers, processors, and distributors. Those would include processors of ingredients and finished products, including the people who process the wheat into flour and then the people who make the flour into the bread. We also will encompass wholesalers and distributors. Next, we have the retailers from the big box department stores to the small natural food stores. We also include restaurants and food services in this category. And finally, we have you, the conscious consumer, your neighbors, and your friends. What are the benefits for producers? The benefits of Leo 4000 are that it provides metrics for measuring improvements in sustainability, achievement levels to recognize improvements, differentiation of products for competitive and economic advantage, guidance on marketing compliant products, third-party certification, so we are avoiding greenwashing, and traceability. We have a widely recognized comprehensive standard that eliminates the need for compliance with multiple standards. There are a number of benefits for processors, suppliers, and distributors as well. We have simplified specification of sustainability requirements in procurement, streamlined system for maintaining traceability, product sustainability achievement levels to chart continuous improvement in the supply chain. So if you are Dole and you want to make sure that your products are meeting a certain level of sustainability, you can tell all your producers that they must meet, for instance, Leo 4000 Silver certification. We will also provide guidance on marketing products to specified market segments, and you'll have the added value of certified products for competitive advantage. Benefits for retailers, grocers, food service providers, and restaurants are similar. You'll have the simplified specification of sustainability requirements in purchasing. You can just tell your purchasing agent that you want Leo 4000 products. Guidance and information for maintaining traceability, product sustainability achievement levels to chart continuous improvement in sourcing, differentiation of certified products for competitive advantage and marketable claims. You can advertise to the public that you only cook with Leo 4000 ingredients. And we provide guidance and education on marketing certified products to consumers. Benefits for consumers. We provide consistent criteria from one rating system that will give you a basis for product comparisons. Instead of a rating system that perhaps just covers wine, grapes for producing wine, our system will cover grapes for producing wine as well as table grapes, as well as strawberries, as well as corn. So you have a basis for understanding that if you're buying a Leo certified product, it has a certain level of quality. Our standard combines all three aspects of sustainability, the environmental, social, and economic criteria, into one standard. We provide third-party certification to eliminate greenwashing. That means that you'll know that when somebody says we are Leo 4000 Gold certified, you know that they actually are telling the truth, and you can look that up and find out exactly what that means. And finally, consumer demand for certified products will lead to an increase in availability as producers respond. Here's Michael to tell you about how you can start using the standard now.
Thank you, Mary. And you can start using the standard now by joining the pilot. The pilot program gives producers, processors, retailers, and verifiers the opportunity to try out the draft standard. It will help guide the standard development process by providing real-world experience and feedback. This will be used in the next round of improvements after the standard is approved. Pilot participants will be the first to market with certified products under the Leo 4000 standard. How it works: you register with Leonardo Academy. Leonardo Academy will provide a license to use the draft standard for trial use. Leonardo Academy will provide templates and tools to the participants. Leonardo Academy will provide training to the participants. We will also gather the information developed in the pilot and bring it back to the table so that the future versions of Leo 4000 can benefit from that information gained in the pilot. Who can participate? Producers, and Leonardo Academy will provide education and support for preparing for certification. Processors and retailers, Leonardo Academy will provide education and support for using the draft standard in marketing and procurement. For consumers, Leonardo Academy will provide education on using the draft standard when shopping. For certifiers, Leonardo Academy will provide training on how to use and verify performance under the standard. How to participate? The pilot's being run by Leonardo Academy. Please give us a call, 608-280-0255, or eggstandard@Leonardo Academy. Call or email for more information. Looking ahead, we initiated the public comment period in 2013, and we initiated the public ballot. We initiated the public comment period in 2013. We also initiated the committee ballot, and in the In February, we initiated this webinar series for the standard and started registering pilot participants. In March, the public comment period was scheduled to end March 6th. We'll be extending that to April 6th, and the committee will address the public comments after the public comment period ends. 2014, we'll have registration for the pilot program. And August 14 to September 14, we'll work on finalizing the standard and submitting to ANSI for approval. There are many ways you can support Leo 4000, the National Standard for Sustainable Agriculture. 4 ways are provide comments on the draft standard during the public comment period. Number 2 is to sign up to participate in the pilot. Number 3 is sign up to participate in the standard development and maintenance process. And number 4 is to make a charitable donation to support the pilot testing of the standard. Leonardo Academy is a 501c3 charitable nonprofit organization. For the public comment period, you can download the draft standard at this web address on the Leonardo Academy website, and you can submit public comments using the public comment form if you'd like to request a public comment form. Please send an email stating such to the Ag Standard at Leonardo Academy web address. For further information, you can contact me, Michael Arney, at Leonardo Academy at 608-280-0255 or Michael Arney at Leonardo Academy. Our website is www.leonardoacademy.org.